So I've made loads of dinner parties in my life, and the best ingredients for a great dinner party is, of course, beer and lots of fried food. Now we have a samosa recipe that is absolutely idiot-proof. We've stripped it down to the bare essentials, which is very simple to do for anyone. Now, before I continue, I should probably say that it's actually still Sunday morning, and you guys are probably still in bed. But, you know, just to get into the spirit of things, and before I show the ingredients, I'm gonna have a swig of beer. Oh yeah. Alright, so let's run through the ingredients. Now I'm starting with the frozen veg. Now I've gone for carrots, green beans, and frozen peas. Now you don't have to stick to this. If you like more green peppers or red peppers, then by all means add them. Or if you don't like carrots, don't add carrots. You know, it's totally flexible. And then we have the onions. Now I've gone for three, about medium-sized onions. And then I have 750 grams of potatoes. Now they're washed and they're unpeeled because I just cannot be bothered peeling them. Then we have 2 eggs. Now this will act as the glue for sticking the pastry skins together. And then we have curry powder, and this I got from my local supermarket. But you can also go to Chinatown or to your Indian shop. And then we have some stock cubes. Now I've gone for chicken stock cubes, and as you can see, I've used a knife to cut them into smaller pieces so that they dissolve in the mix easier. And then we have the pastry skins. Now these I got from a local Chinese shop to put them in the fridge section. And the trick is that the day before you want to use them, you have to put them in the fridge so they get a chance to defrost. And it's easier to peel the layers from each other. Okay, and then we have oil. Now I've gone for sunflower oil, and it's about 1 liter in there. And that's of course for the deep frying part. And then the most essential ingredient is the beer. But of course we're not going to cook with this. We're just going to drink it. Cheers. Now before we start anything, we have to boil some water first for the potatoes. Alright, so we're going to want to chop the potatoes into cube-sized pieces. About this big. Now don't worry if the potatoes are different sizes. I mean, just approximately the same size. Alright, so now we're going to add the potatoes to the boiling water. Just make sure that the water more than covers the potatoes. That's important. Alright, so while the potatoes are boiling, we're going to chop the onions. Now you see this part? This is like the core, and we want to chop that off. That way the onions won't really stick together. Out. Now we want to chop against the grain, so this way. So I've chopped all 3 onions and just kind of loosen them up into single slices, and then you're done. Alright, so these are all the ingredients that we have. And we have our onions that we chopped up, potatoes, frozen veg, stock cube, and curry powder. Now we're going to heat up a large pot. It can be a large wok or a frying pan, just as long as it's huge. Alright, now put the heat on medium heat and pour in some oil. I would say this is about 4 tablespoons. Yeah, I mean, it can be 5 or 6, it doesn't matter. Just cover, make sure that the oil covers the base of the pan. And then once it's hot, then we can start cooking the onions. And since we're waiting for the oil to get hot, guess what? Oh, great. Now you can see the oil is starting to produce smoke. Now that's when the oil is ready for the onions, and we just add. And it's important to get the oil to cover the onions evenly. So mix it up really well. Now we don't want the onions to brown. We just want them to become translucent. Alright, so the onions are now nice and soft. And they started to shrink a little bit. Now this took about 2 to 3 minutes of constant stirring. Now we're going to add the frozen vegetables. Now it's okay if the vegetables are still a little bit frozen. The heat will take care of that. And we're going to add the potatoes. Now it's important to keep mixing this, just like we did with the onions. We want all the ingredients to be evenly mixed within this mixture. Alright, so after the ingredients are nicely mixed, I've turned down the fire to a small fire, a little less than before, and we can start adding the spices. So in goes the curry powder and the chicken stock cubes. And again, mix. Now we want the stock cubes to dissolve into the mixture, and we want the curry powder to evenly be spread over the whole mixture. So mix some more. Alright, as you can see, I'm using a glove because my hand started burning because of the heat of the pan. But as you can see, the mixture is all nicely and evenly coated, and the stock cubes have dissolved into the mixture. And now we start tasting to see if it's nicely seasoned. That's well seasoned. However, for me, I would like a little bit more curry powder. So I'm going to add another tablespoon. You see, this recipe is very flexible. You can do it towards your own taste. And we just mix it. Alright, so we have our mixture here. Now our mixture is of course our filling. Remember, we had the potatoes, the onions, the frozen veg, the curry powder, and the stock cube in here. But okay, then we have our pastry here, and we have our egg. Now I've beaten the eggs like you would make an omelette. The first thing to do is to cut the pastry in half. Now you see this line going through the middle? That's where we want to cut. And we do it like this. Kind of just go into the pastry, cut right through the middle. Now it's probably best not to do this when you're drunk. Now I'm starting to strip away the layers of the pastry skin. Now about my earlier remark about not cutting the pastry skins while being drunk is mainly because you don't want to injure yourself or chop off your finger. Now as you can see, I've already finished stripping apart the pastry skins. Now as a quick tip, we don't want to leave these pastry skins out for too long because they will definitely dry up, and that's not what we want. Okay, so this is our pastry skin. First off, we're going to brush it with our egg wash. Now just brush the whole thing. There. Nice, beautiful. It's like arts and crafts. And don't worry about the mess, it's fine. Then we add a heat tablespoon of the mixture, and we add it in the left side corner of the pastry, kind of like that. Now, to fold, we're going to start from here and fold over like that. Now it's important to really press down the edges so that the egg wash sticks the pastry skins together. So really press down. Okay, so that's glued enough. Then we fold over again and press down once more. And the last fold finishes the triangle. And press again. Samosas are traditionally triangular shape. And well, this kind of looks like a triangle, I think. And then we can set this on another plate and continue with the rest. Alright, so now we're almost ready for the deep frying part. We have our wok here with our oil. Basically this has got the rest of the oil that was in the bottle. And while we are waiting for that to get to the right temperature, we can have a look at what we have so far. So we have our samosas here, all ready to go. And then we have our bowl lined with paper towels to soak up all the excess oil. And to check whether the oil is at the right temperature, we take a piece of pastry skin, just rip a piece off, drop it in. Alright, now when the pastry skin boils furiously like that, we know that it's ready and it's the optimum temperature for frying. Now we want to slide the samosas in. Don't throw them in because the oil will splash all over the place and you'll get burnt. And trust me, it is not pleasant. Now essentially the samosas will only take just over 2 minutes to cook. And throughout this cooking process we're going to turn it over once and once only. Now you can see that the sides are starting to brown up. Now it's kind of almost golden brown. This is the time when we turn it over. For another 30 seconds, and then we fish them out. Now you see the color? It's very golden brown, kind of like the color of the beer. Now, that's what we are achieving. See, it's nice and brown on both sides. This is the time. Fish it out. Try and get rid of most of the oil. So there you have it, the samosas. The recipe that I gave you will make you about 30 samosas, depending on the amount of filling that you put in. So now's the best part of the recipe, and that is to taste it. And I know the law says that you're not supposed to drink and drive, but no one said anything about cooking and drinking. So here we go. Yeah. Yeah, that really hit the spot. Now, of course, now you try. So cheers to you. That was fried food and beer. And today we made samosas. And thank you very much for watching.